Hello everyone, this is Madan. How are you all doing? The art of grooming the human body has been developing for at least 8,000 years. The practice of perfuming and powdering the body, as well as painting and dyeing both the hair and the nails, grew out of social, religious, and military rituals. Yes, even in military rituals, it is at least as old as written history. Archaeologists have found face powder, eye makeup, and fingernail polish dating to around 6000 BC. That is about 8000 years old. When they dug the royal tombs in Babylon, that is present day Iraq, they discovered a multi piece manicure set that contained clippers and scissors made of solid gold. The Egyptian people had a practice of staining or painting the nails and sometimes even the entire finger. The common color was reddish brown. It was also about 8000 years ago. Experts have said that the art of fingernail polish originated in China in 3000 BC, that is about 5000 years ago. It was used to indicate one's social status. Carving from an Egyptian pharaoh tomb showed early manicures and pedicure practices. A small interesting tidbit, it is said that Queen Nefertiti, who lived 3075 years ago, painted her fingernails and toenails a deep ruby red, while Cleopatra, who lived about 2100 years ago, favored a rust color that is a flashier ruby shade. It is said that Cleopatra's nails were painted in deep red. In ancient Egypt and Rome, military commanders also painted their nails to match their lips before they went off to the battle. Let us see one by one of the countries and the cultural practices like manicure and pedicure. In China, it began around 3000 BC. Chinese nail polish was made from beeswax. Beeswax is a product made from the honeycomb of the honeybee and other bees. This was to indicate the higher social class. Red color and black were reserved for only the royal families. Both men and women kept long polished nails. It can grow as long as 13 centimeters. If you think about an indicated meaning, it means the royal family will not use their hands or feet for manual labor. The ancient Chinese women preferred a metallic gold and silver colors for their nails. In ancient China as well as in Egypt, the leaves of the henna plant was used for reddish brown dye. Then they will soak the nails and fingers in a wooden bowl filled with this natural colorant. In China, trimming the nail was and still is avoided, since even among the lower classes, long nails denote wisdom. They combined gum arabic, egg white, gelatin, and beeswax to formulate a substance that was used as fingernail enamel. This pale substance was used by rulers who took great pride in the appearance of their nails. During the Chow dynasty, that is about 2500 years ago, gold and silver became the preferred nail colors for anyone of nobility. Now let us come to Babylonia. The city of Babylon was located around 50 miles south of Baghdad, along the Euphrates River in present-day Iraq. It was founded around 2300 BC. That is, it is more than 4300 years old. It was created by the ancient Akkadian-speaking people of southern Mesopotamia. In southern Babylonia, men and women used metallic gold tools to give manicures and pedicures. To them, it serves as a symbol of wealth and status. Normally, only noble men and women could afford such tools, giving them access to nail treatments. Actually, The introduction of pedicure was an integral part of class system of the Babylonians.
Let us talk about Egypt. The true origin of pedicure is from ancient Egypt. Beauty and manicure shops flourished in ancient Egypt around 4000 BC, that is about 6000 years ago. Royal families and nobles in Egypt paid special attention to their nails, feet, and legs as a part of their culture and religion. Their nail color was used to indicate social class. Again, red being reserved as a symbol of royalty. More so, as with Chinese, long nails were a symbol of wisdom in ancient Egypt. They were believed to be used for communication with God and other divinities. An interesting tidbit. If anyone other than the king and queen paints their nail with colors reserved only to the king and queen, they were sentenced to death. The Egyptians paid special care to their nails even after death. It is very common to find dead soldiers with remnants of painted toenails and fingernails as a final act of indicating their social status. Now coming back to Rome. The Romans also have their own form of caring for their nails and bodies. Among all civilizations, the Romans stand out for taking care of the body, mind, and spirit. They built great buildings for spa centers and places where people can relax while discussing arts, politics, and philosophy. These spa rooms were specifically used for meeting and training, while others for libraries and saunas. Women of the lower order were allowed to wear pale hues, but only those who dared to risk death wore nails the same color as the queens or the kings. Egyptian men also painted their nails. Egyptian men were no less vain in death than they were in life. Vain means having or showing an excessively high opinion of one's appearance, abilities, or worth. Egyptians stocked their tombs with an ample supply of nail paints and polishes for the afterlife. In the tomb of King Tutankhamun, built in 1350 BC, that is about 3380 years ago, several small containers of cosmetics, including nail polish, were buried. Now listen to this. When archaeologists found them, each of cosmetics and nail polishes was still usable in the 1920s when the tomb was unearthed. Let us now see about nail care in ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, people preferred natural, unpainted fingernails and associated the half moons on the nail plate with Earth's moon. According to legend, the rays of the moon helped dislodge the soul from the flesh of the dead. Thus, freed from its earthly prison, the soul could reach the heavens. Moon shapes in the nail were used to predict a person's future and the fate of the soul. The practice of fingernail coloring did not develop in Greece until the 5th century BC. That is about 2500 years ago. Mistresses of the wealthy made it a daily habit to color both their nails and hair a light, almost blonde shade. They believed that lighter tones represents innocence, superior social status, and sexual desirability. They achieved this shade with a dye made from yellow flower petals, pollen, and potassium salt. Along with the development of nail care came an ancient Greek ritual, known as onychomancy. It's about finger divination. This tradition of finger divination was performed on the nails of an unpolluted or morally pure young boy. The boy's fingernails were covered with a thick mixture of soot and oil. Then it was held perfectly still, beneath the blazing midday sun, allowing images to be reflected. These portraits provided messages or clues that helped answer questions that had been asked beforehand. There were many things that was considered as an omen. They wanted an omen for when to attack an enemy, when to harvest crops, or even to conceive children. Now, what is meaning of nail care for battle? Painted nails were common among high-ranking male warriors about to go into battle. Egyptian, Babylonian, and Roman military leaders spent several hours prior to each military confrontation having their hair lacquered and curled and their nails painted to match their lips. The battle records of Thutmose III of Egypt circa 1504 to 1450 BC, that is about 2500 years ago, is carved on the temple of Amen at Karnak. It claims that he conquered 500 countries during his rule. Now look at what he did. Prior to each battle, a dozen or more servants were needed for his cosmetic transformation.
Were there any objection to use cosmetics in ancient times? The answer is yes. Throughout recorded history, there have been numerous instances in which men have tried to prohibit the use of nail polishes and other cosmetics. Xenophon, a 4th century BC Greek historian, argued in the pages of Good Husbandry that his new bride intentionally deceived him by coloring her hair, face and fingernails. And as recently as 1770, legislation was introduced in the British Parliament demanding that women of whatever age, rank or profession, whether virgins, maids or widows, should not seduce or betray men into marriage by using perfumes, nail paints, cosmetic washes, artificial teeth and false hair. Seems like this is a very long list. If they do that, they shall be penalized by the laws as against witchcraft, and such marriages shall stand null and void. Now let us see about the superstitions in Europe about manicure and pedicure. In medieval Europe, when there was widespread belief in witchcraft, a method of fortune telling by studying the white spots on a person's fingernails became popular. If a white spot appeared prominently on the thumb, a gift will come to them. If it is on the index finger, a friend would arrive. If it is on the long or the middle finger, an enemy is lurking behind them. On the fourth finger, a letter or sweetheart would grab your attention. And if it is on the little finger, they will go on a journey. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, there were many superstitions connected to nails, to love and marriage. A young woman was advised by her mother never to trim her fingernails on Sunday. The superstition is she will not get married and become an old maid. It was also said that the best way to make a man fall in love with you was to offer him a drink in which you had earlier soaked your fingernail parings. When a young girl becomes a mother, she was instructed to not to cut the baby's nails during the first year of the infant's life. If she cuts them, it was believed the child would grow to be a thief. Manicurists of the early 20th century thought they could read a person's character from his or her fingernails. A woman with triangular shaped nails could not keep a secret, and a person with round or ridged nails was honest and sincere but had a short temper. It is very clear that manicuring has played a powerful role in people's lives throughout history. Well cared off nails both on the hands and feet represented an effort to exhibit culture and breeding. In this regard, ancient peoples were not so different from us. Americans spend more than $4 billion, that is about 3,300 crores of rupees, annually on professional nail services, and some of us are still a little superstitious at times. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Please like, comment and subscribe, and more importantly share the videos widely. Thanks once again. Take care. Bye bye.